Here is everything that you need to know about The Invention of Lying. The Invention of Lying premiered at the Toronto Film Festival on September 14th, 2009, and was released in the US on October 2nd. Some movies that were released around that time were Heath Ledger's last film, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Splice. That's my shit, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you fucking kidding me? Fuck yeah.
It weirded me out. It was like,
you know what?
Sex
Nah.
with that alien
No,
thing.
I thought it was Split.
Okay.
No.
You know what I'm talking? You know what Splice is?
Yeah,
now?
no, that was not my shit.
Adrian Brody getting all up in that alien poom.
And speaking of alien poom, Zombieland also came out around that time.
And there's a fucking list. This was a great month. 2012.
I didn't want that movie to end. I'm like, tell me what happens, but it was fucking weird.
The Descent Part Deuce.
Dissenting. Speaking of the descending society in the world we live in, Law Abiding Citizen also came around that time. Gerard Butler.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you feel bad for his character?
Fuck yeah, in the beginning.
At
Your
the
fucking
end.
kid. Oh, at the end, yeah, I felt bad. He should have had to fucking die.
I'm just making sure I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was like an unpopular opinion.
Yeah. No.
It was like a Killmonger situation.
He watched his wife and daughter get raped and killed in front of him, and then the man gets set free because he turned on the other guy that was there.
These two movies I actually saw in theaters October 2009. Where the Wild Things Are, Spike Jonze' take on the classic book, had James Gandolfini doing the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Men Who Stare at Goats, George Clooney, Kevin Spacey, Ewan McGregor.
And don't forget about Saw 6 came out around that time as well. And
I didn't even know.
And what about the fantastic Mr. Fox?
Wes Anderson fucking coming out the gates with stop motion and blowing the whole world away. The Invention of Lying is written and directed by Ricky Gervais and Matthew Robinson.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Matthew Robinson actually wrote the screenplay for A Little Shop of Horrors remake, currently in pre-production, with Scarlett Johansson rumored as playing Audrey, Chris Evans rumored as playing the dentist, and Taron Egerton playing Seymour.
The Invention of Lying stars Ricky Gervais as Mark Bellison, Jennifer Garner as Anna McDouglas, Jonah Hill as Frank, Lewis the CK as Greg, Jeffrey Tumbar as Anthony, Rob Lowe as Brad Kessler, Tina Fey as Shelley, and can't miss Dr. Jason Bateman as Doctor.
Yep, you also get the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman cameo.
What?
Edward Norton. In a hilarious moment, Bobby Moynihan pops up and Stephen Merchant's in one of my favorite scenes. And if you look real closely, you'll see Eric Andre, a young Eric Andre, just sitting there being totally cool and not busting into anything or ripping his skin off or anything crazy. Just sitting in the crowd.
That's a bad trip. See what it is?
Yeah.
Ew.
Invention of Lying was shot. Production began April 14th, 2008. Locations: it was filmed primarily in Massachusetts with a flashback scene shot in London, England. With a budget of $18.5 million, Invention of Lying made back a little over $7 million in its opening weekend with a current worldwide gross of nearly $32.5 million. This is the top 10 facts about The Invention of Lying. Because this episode is all about lying, 3 of these facts are going to be lies, and you'll never know which 3. Let's start with number 10, Louis C.K.'s canceled beard. Long before Louis Calvin Klein was canceled, Ricky Gervais succeeded at getting reluctant Louis to cancel his beard for his role in The Invention of Lying so he could better portray the part of a caveman in an original opening scene for the movie. Louis Calvin Klein cut his beard, and the editors cut the caveman scene.
Number 9, Jerk Off. Louis Calvin Klein's caveman scene actually had to be removed in order to keep the film's PG-13 rating because Louis insisted that his character be masturbating under his loin covering the entire time. Now, Gervais is okayed this to humor him, thinking that, he could edit around it below the waist activity, but proved impossible when Louis Calvin Klein finished in multiple takes. Yes, you heard him, finished, wearing a very obvious expression on his face that was more profane than the physical activity that was causing it.
Oh, Louis Calvin Klein. Number 8, the original title. The Invention of Lying was originally titled This Side of the Truth.
Alternate title. The Invention of Lying was released under its original title in France, but was released on DVD as Mythoman, a play on the French word mythomane, which means pathological liar.
Number 6. Pardon my French.
You fucking umpire? Yeah!
Yeah. Number 6. Pardon my French. Ricky Gervais' character is named Mark Bellison, which is displayed on his office door as M. Bellison. This, of course, resembles the word embellish or the French word embellissant, I'm assuming, which means someone who beautifies reality or embellishes.
Number 5. Woody gets stiffed. Woody Allen was initially tapped for Gervais' role, writing, directing, starring in The Invention of Lying in 2007 when the script was first pitched. Due to production delays, he eventually had to step down to shoot his film, Whatever Works, with Larry David.
And number 4, this movie was not supposed to happen. Matt Robinson's original script for This Side of the Truth was included in 2007's blacklist of unproduced screenplays most liked by Hollywood producers. It was in good company, too, along with what would become The Invention of Lying. Other scripts that stood against the odds to find their way into production from that year included the Coen Brothers' Burn After Reading, which was eventually released in 2008, The Revenant, which was found its way to the screen in 2015, Hangover saw the light of day in 2009, Zombieland made its way into the world in 2009 as well, The Wrestler came into existence in 2008, The Wolf of Wall Street was birthed in 2013, Slumdog Millionaire 2008, The Book of Eli 2010, Selma 2014, and Recount in 2008.
Wow. Number 3. Directorial debut. The Invention of Lying was Ricky Gervais' feature film directorial debut. He was no stranger to directing, having directed his breakout series, The Office, as well as his other show, Extras, along with a few other series and short films.
Number 2, My Chemical Romance. An accident in craft service led to a very brief romantic encounter between Tina Fey and Rob Lowe on the set of The Invention of Lying. Story goes, a still anonymous prankster from the crew laced the wheatgrass drink dispenser with an absurd amount of ecstasy. Fey and Lowe, being the only ones who drank the wheatgrass, needless to say, were feeling really good. Long story short, when it was time for them to be on camera and they were nowhere to be found, their PAs began frantically searching, eventually finding them unclothed and in a compromising position in a grip truck. They took the rest of the day off and resumed shooting the next day, never to speak of their wheatgrass afternoon delight again.
Afternoon delight. I think you guys have it. Number 1. Getting Hoffman. When initially approached to appear in The Invention of Lying, Philip Seymour Hoffman agents responded that he was too busy. We all know how the story ends because Hoffman is obviously in the movie. So, how did it happen? Ricky Gervais requested Hoffman's email address. That's right, kids. Email, it's a thing. And sent him a message reading, "Dear Philip, will you please appear in my new film? There's a very little money involved as I spent the budget on testicular implants. But don't look upon them as my testicles. Look at them as our testicles." I mean, how can you say no to that?
Marco.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't. His role as the bartender is so funny.
Marco! What if I told you I was German? Guten Tag!
All right, which facts do you think were the lies? Let us know in the comments. There were 3 of them.
Something about that wheatgrass just doesn't taste right.
I don't know. Rob Lowe and Tina Fey are both very attractive. I could see them in a compromising position.
Good.